welcome to another video. So I thought that today, now that I've graduated, I'll try to find a clip and insert it. So giving you guys advice from freshman year all the way to senior year that I thought would have been helpful if I would have paid attention more to. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's start off from freshman. Some things I would advise for freshman year. Oh, and I'm gonna be looking down because I have it on my phone. I wrote it all down for you guys. Is reality, it's nothing at all like High School Musical. Sorry to break it to you, it broke my heart as well. Unless your school is like High School Musical, then you need to let me know so that I can go and visit. But it's nothing at all like High School Musical. High School Musical did not prepare me for high school. Okay, my other thing is, as a freshman, entering school can be super terrifying because you're used to like middle school, or for example, for me, I hadn't changed schools since 2nd grade all the way until freshman year of high school, which I wanted to let you guys know not to be intimidated, because every freshman there is probably in the exact same boat as you guys and is very scared because they're now the lower classmen when they were the higher classmen previously. So don't be scared and make some friends. Okay, this is not only from experience, but also as I talked to my friends previously for freshman year, they agreed with this. It's okay to have fun, but it's not okay to slack off. I know my freshman year, I definitely could have put in more work. I wouldn't say I didn't do any of my work, but I definitely could have tried a lot harder. Freshman year, I guess I could have taken it a little bit more serious, and that's something I definitely wish I would have done, but I ended up doing fine. So keep in mind that freshman year, it is a big change and you're gonna get a lot more work. However, it's not to say that it's not doable, because it's for sure doable. If I could do it, you guys can do it for sure. Okay, moving on to sophomore year. Although as a sophomore you're still being seen as a lower classman, it for sure don't let that mean much to you. Because just because you're a lower classman does not mean you're capable of what the higher classmen can do. Like, you have to be put as like, oh, I'm only underclassman and I can't do much. Like, yeah, there's gonna be probably like senior priority or like upperclassmen go first for, I don't know, lunch or something, I don't know. But don't feel the need to like put yourself on a scale, as most high schoolers feel that they are put just because of the age difference, when really in reality we're all like a year or two older or younger, so it's not that much of a difference. Another tip that I would give sophomores or incoming sophomores is to start figuring out what things work and don't work for you. For example, for me, I know that I won't be able to work if I'm with a group of friends, because I'm just gonna want to talk to them or they'll want to talk to me. So I know that I definitely need a quiet space, and definitely try to find out a method in which you like taking notes and which you feel is more beneficial to you, because next year is when the big studying comes. The next piece of advice is to join sports and join clubs or just like any extracurriculums, because my freshman year I decided to just kind of settle in and see how everything worked out, which is why I say to do it your sophomore year, because now that you know how things work out and that sadly school is not like High School Musical, you can now start moving into clubs. So usually classes, especially your freshman year, you just kind of stick with your own group of freshmen. So I think that joining clubs as experience has been, or just like extra things in general, has been very helpful to be able to mix with other people that I wouldn't usually mix with. But the cool thing about it is that you have the same interests, or if you're in the same sport, you have the same interest in sports, or I don't know if you're in band, anything like that. My last piece of advice for sophomores is to make a very good relationship and communicating with your teachers, because the more comfortable you feel with your teachers, the easier it will be to ask for questions, or if you're having trouble, it'll be easier to be like, oh, now I'm having a hard time with my schoolwork, let me go ask my teacher. As of for me, that's kind of one of my mistakes that I did. I didn't really get comfortable with my teachers, or didn't ask many questions, because I have always been like a very shy student or very shy person in general, which made it more difficult for me to communicate with my teachers. So definitely sophomore year, become more comfortable with your teachers and just having like small talk or asking questions. It can be as simple as just raising your hand. Now to the soon-to-be juniors. The juniors, my main piece of advice that I would want you to take away, well, one of them would be to study, because the tests, all the big tests like the SATs, ACTs, I don't know if you guys, like my school did like SBACs, which were another big test for us, and like, I don't know, different schools have different big tests, but these are the tests that start like becoming towards the college route, which is why they're very, very important to not just leave them to the end to study, because they will for sure, from experience, come up a lot faster than you think. And going off of that, my next one is pretty similar to the first one, which is do not procrastinate. I know that can be super hard, and no matter what grade you're in, it can be so easily done, and it can be so easy to just procrastinate. Sometimes it's just really hard to just kind of like drag yourself out and get your work done, which is totally understandable. However, unfortunately, junior year is definitely not the year to slack off, because once again, this is when colleges start approaching you academically and start viewing your history academically of how you're doing and whether they would be interested in your hard work. When you feel like you have way too much on your plate, junior year is definitely a year where I felt like I had way too much on my plate, and I felt like I would not be able to handle that much. It is definitely okay to stumble, or to like just take a break. Take some time for yourself, because you need you time, and that's okay. That's understandable. Everybody needs you time, no matter what grade you're in, no matter what age you are. You definitely need some time to just take a break, and it's definitely okay to take a break, like 100% okay to take a break. Just make sure that you are spending your time wisely, and that you are getting your stuff done and back to the road in which you know will lead you to success. Junior year, I would say, is also very important, in which you start looking to college websites, or just like making some college visits, because before you know it, the year will start ending, and you'll start senior year, in which you will need to be a little more focused within colleges. Something that my school taught us is to categorize colleges, as in like whether it's a reach school, meaning that your GPA may be lower or your test scores may be lower, but you definitely feel like you can reach high up for it, and your mind is set for a challenge. And then there is the likely category, which is like, oh, my GPA is like above from what the college wants, or my test scores are above from what the college wants, so I am like most definitely likely to get accepted there. The last one that I would like to mention is the safety school. Definitely it is very important to have a safety school where you know that you're gonna be able to like financially pay for it in case of anything in case you don't get accepted into any other schools, you know that you have a safety plan or like a backup plan. Now, my advice to seniors is a little bit longer, but it's definitely worth hearing. You finally hit senior year, and you should most certainly pat yourself in the back for all those hard work for all those 3 years of high school. So definitely be proud for your accomplishments and all the work that you have done in order to get to this very moment in the year. And also relieve yourself because all the big exams are definitely done with, and that's it. You don't need to worry about that unless you decided to do all those tests on your senior year. You have made it so far where you now get to apply to college. Thankfully and hopefully you made that list that I told you about and can now start applying for college. Do not, as a person who will be first generation to go to college, do not be afraid to ask for help. I know a lot of teachers will be there for you if you need lots of help or you need help at all. Because I know for me and my family, we weren't exactly sure how to do things or where to get resources and all that, and literally a lot of my teachers and my mentors were very helpful in helping us find resources. Now there's going to be acceptances in which you have joy in your heart and you're like, wow. Like for me, I know it was like super relieving that I actually got accepted somewhere, because I've always had that very paranoid feeling with like anything. So it definitely started some tears of joy, I'm not gonna lie. And there are unfortunately gonna be some places where you don't get accepted, and it's definitely not the end of the world. Don't worry about it, because you have other schools that you have applied to, or maybe all the schools haven't gotten back to you. And honestly, if you don't get accepted anywhere, yet again, it's still not the end of the world, because you still have community college, which honestly is not, it's not a bad option. If you need it, go for it. No one's gonna look down on you because you're still going for an education. You have already applied for colleges and you're waiting for acceptances. All you really have to worry about, if you think about it, is just making sure you pass your classes. Especially if you already got accepted somewhere, you know you're going there for sure and everything. All you have to do is make sure you pass all your classes. Another piece of advice would be to not be afraid of taking AP classes. I know my senior year, I took all AP classes and I do not regret it one bit. Not at all. Because not only does it look good in your transcript, but if you know you're really good at subject, then you don't really have much to worry about. And yeah, it'll be a little more challenging, but it's okay to challenge yourself. You should be up for a challenge and just have that mentality that you are capable of doing something that you set your mind to. But if you pass the final exam for the AP tests, you don't have to take that course in college. Now, that's not to say that all colleges do that. You have to make sure that your college approves those points that you have from AP classes and will take that credit, because I know not all schools take all courses, or not all schools take the credit. Very last one, once you guys get to senior year, is to make lots of memories. Like lots of memories, enough where you can like go back in time in your own mind and think to yourself, wow, I really had a good year, or yeah, I may have stumbled, but I definitely found my way up. Because at the end of time, you're gonna graduate and you're gonna feel so accomplished that all that hard work, all that crying, all that frustration, those times in which you kept falling and found yourself to get back up, such an accomplishment. And definitely be proud of yourself for how far you've gotten and how far you will get as you go into your journey. And yeah, that's it for the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really hope that these tips were helpful for you and hopefully can help you out in some sort of way. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any other video ideas that I should try, or definitely feel free to any other tips that you guys have. And yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon.